my mat. We're going to start on the floor once again, cross-legged. And you can just, I had a good hip up there. Hip hop, not hip hop, although also interesting. All right. So just cross your legs loosely in front of you. If you want to take your hands, palms to knees, and just get settled a little bit. I like to kind of come forward. So I'm sitting in a way that allows for there to be almost like a small bend in your lower back. And then you'll place palms on knees. Let's start with your right leg in front of your left leg, just so we can all be on the same page when we switch. So the first thing we're going to do is just do a simple cat-cow from seated. So when we go into cat, we're tucking our hips under. This is a posterior tilt, and you're stretching also across the backs of your shoulders. Then scoop your sternum forward, reach all the way forward, lengthen your spine, and then come back up to standing with that slight spinal extension like you would in cow pose. And then we'll come back to cat, draw navel to spine, just like you do in cat-cow. And then use your strong back, lengthen out, and come back up. We can start to make this motion a little more fluid. And you'll feel, as we've been working with our psoas muscles, as we come back into cat, you'll feel them lengthen and stretch a little bit. So understand how that feels so you can call on that same action once again. We'll all come back up to seated. And then from here, take your right hand out to your right side and reach your left arm up and over. This could be enough, or maybe you want to bend your right elbow, come all the way down to your forearm, and then press into your forearm, roll your left shoulder back, even if it's just an inch. Turn left pinky down towards the earth. Get a good stretch in your left side, soften through your left hips. And then we'll come back to center. Change the cross of your legs, so left in front of right. Just notice if that feels any different from one side to the other. Again, I like to do a little bit of nestling, scoot forward so I can sit tall. And then instead of doing cat-cow on this side, we're going to do some circles. So let's start in cat pose seated. So we roll back, and then take your ribs over towards your right knee as you lengthen out, and we're thinking in cow pose. Stay in cow pose, circle all the way around to the left knee, and then as you come back again, we're thinking cat pose. We'll do a few times in each direction. And I'm taking my time, not going too fast with this today, because I really want us to explore the different sensations in our hips. Let's go back one more time this direction, and then we'll switch sides. Come over to the left knee as you lengthen, extend through your spine, and then to the right. Big circles. Cat pose when you go to the back. Cow pose as you come to the front. Let's take one more full circumnavigation. Come around to the front, to your right knee, and then back again. Now for our side bend, left hand out to the side. Reach your right arm up and over. You're going to press down and away with your left hand. Stay here, or forearm all the way down. And roll your right shoulder back, right pinky down towards the mat. You can let your neck be soft, look down. It's really up to you. But keep breathing through your right side. Soften through your right hip. Notice where you're holding tension there. And then we'll breathe ourselves back up to seated. Come through hands and knees. Make any adjustments of the pants that are necessary. So hands underneath shoulders, knees above or knees below hips. And we'll take just a couple of movements through cat-cow. We don't have to spend a lot of time here since we've already been here, but you may want to move organically, move a little freely. See how your hips feel in this position compared to our seated position. And we'll come back to neutral. Take your hands one whole handprint in front of where they are. Turn them out, so externally rotate just slightly so your first finger lines up with the outside edges of your mat. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, stretch the bottoms of your feet, engage your core. Then move your hips backwards. Ears are in line with your biceps. Keep them there as you straighten your legs, or close to straighten, or it doesn't have to be anything close. But we want your back to be straight, less than we're concerned about your legs being straight in downward dog. And then from downward dog, pedal in place. Stretch the backs of your legs. It's great for your opening up your hamstrings and your calves. You might notice different sensations slightly in each leg. Just pay attention to how you feel today without any judgment. And come back to neutral, your downward dog home base. Breathe your ankles above your toes. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Broaden the space behind your heart. So broaden your backs of your shoulders as you roll forward into plank pose and lengthen out sternum to heels. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, navel to spine. Lift your hips. And exhale, soften into downward dog. Inhale, heels above toes, navel to spine, roll forward, press into your fingertips as you arrive. Inhale, strong core brings you back to downward dog. And then last time to roll through into down or into plank. Feel the strength into your arms, into your strong center, and even into your legs. So from here, pull your kneecaps up so you activate your legs. Now I want you to use your legs as brakes as we lower down. Go slow. Keep drawing belly button up. And then we'll make it all the way to the mat. And take 3 rounds of cobra. So tops of feet press down, all 5 toes into the mat. You're going to feel your knees lift and then shoulders loop. Use your back muscles to lift you away from the earth and soften back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Shoulders loop, heart reaches forward. Keep the back of your neck long and soften. On this last one, shoulders loop, use your back, and then your arms. Lengthen the front of your body, press your feet down and back, reach your sternum forward and up. Keep the back of your neck long so you're not looking towards the sky and crunching the back of your neck. And then melt back down. Hands under your shoulders, toes tuck, knees lift, navel lifts, and then whole body same time through plank to downward dog. Keeping the Namaskar series pretty simple this week. Working on shoulder extension and then leg extension, which is helping with our stretch our psoas. Inhale your right leg straight back. Reach out through your right heel forward through the crown of your head. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest. Hug it in as you shift forward and place your right foot next to your right thumb. Ground your left foot so you're heel to heel. Press your feet down and apart as you rise up into warrior one. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, sweep your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. And then inhale, broaden across your collarbones. Reach your hands away from your hips. On your exhale, reach your heart forward, hinge from your hips, right shoulder on the inside of right knee. Tuck your chin as you come up. Use your strong core to help you rise back up. Unfurl your hands, reach your hands above your head. Bring your palms together. Stay strong through your base as you hinge forward. Hands to the mat, square your hips. Step back with control into plank. Press into your fingertips as you lower down with patience and strength. Tops of feet press down and back. Heart reaches forward. Peel up with ease, fluidity. Hands underneath shoulders and through plank or knee plank. Back to downward dog. Left leg, inhale, then lift. Exhale, hug your knee into your chest. Keep it high as you shift forward. Left foot to thumb. Right heel grounds. Heel to heel, press your feet down and apart. Thumbs lead on your way up to warrior one. Exhale, pinkies sweep back. Interlace your fingers. Hands move away from hips, arms lengthen, heart reaches up. Exhale, reach your heart towards the top right corner and allow your arms to come up and over as you gaze to your back foot. Use your core strength to help bring you back up. And then release your arms. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, dive back down to the mat. Square up with control. Use your strong center to step back. Exhale, use your legs as brakes on your way to the mat. Then find that freeing expansion of Cobra Pose. Hands back under your shoulders, tuck your toes, balance the ease with a little bit of effort back through plank to downward dog. Inhale, right leg, reach back and up. Exhale, use your core strength to lift your right leg up, foot to thumb, left heel down. Inhale up, warrior one. Keep pressing your feet down and apart, hips low. Exhale, hands sweep back behind you for humble warrior. Reach knuckles back, heart up. Exhale, hinge forward, keeping your right knee over your right ankle. And it stays exactly in place as you flow back up. Reach your arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands through midline. Step back into plank. Slowly with strength and control to the earth. And then move like Mercury through Cobra. Soften back to the mat with strength through plank to downward dog. Left side. Inhale, reach from your heel all to the way to the crown of your head. Exhale, draw knee into center. Shift forward. Warrior one stance. Press down into your feet. Keep your left knee bent. Press the outside edge of your right foot in the back or down and back. Sweep your hands behind you. Fingers interlace. Arms long and strong, heart high. Keep your foundation solid as you hinge forward. Inhale, come back to warrior one. Breathe your arms up over your head, gaze towards the horizon. And exhale, dive forward. Hips square. Without flinging, step into plank. Press into your fingertips, elbows point straight back as you lower. Shoulders loop, back of neck is long, collarbones broad. Toes tuck, navel to spine, back through plank to downward dog. One more time on each side. Inhale, right leg, stretch back. Knee to heart, foot to thumb. Left heel down. Inhale up, warrior one. Keep your hips low, legs strong. Hands interlace. Heart reaches up. Shoulder blades draw together as you hinge forward. Hands come up and over. Inhale, draw yourself up. Unfurl, warrior one. Exhale, back to the mat. With control. Legs and arms strong. Peel yourself away from the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders through plank to downward dog. Left leg. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hug your left knee in. Foot to thumb. Right heel down. Strong through both legs as you rise. Exhale, sweep back. Lengthen through your arms, lift through your heart. Keep the length of your spine as you dive forward. Peel yourself back up. Arms float above your head. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Square up, left leg to meet right. All the way to the mat. Heart and feet reaching in opposite directions. Press your feet down and back. And then let's return to child's pose rather than downward dog. Just take a moment here in child's pose. Maybe even put your backs of your hands underneath your forehead. And take this moment to check in. Check in with the state of your mind and the conditions in which your thoughts are created. How are the conditions of your mind today affecting how you perceive the world around you? How you perceive your body? And from child's pose, we'll come through all fours. The requisite pant pull up must occur, at least for me. And then we'll just take a moment. We're gonna wag our tail a little bit here. Take a little bit of a transition as we work our way into our core work. So I know that we're spending our day, you can stop wagging your tail. I'm gonna talk for just a moment. I know we're spending these weeks opening up our psoas and stretching it, but we're going to also today take a moment in our core work to strengthen it, and then we'll spend the rest of the class making sure that we stretch it out and get the full front of the body gates open. So as I said on Tuesday, bear with me through some of this play core work. I promise the rest of the class will be free flowing or easy flowing. Okay. So come into plank pose. We'll start with shoulders above wrists, navel drawing to spine, legs engaged by drawing your knees up your legs, and then lifting the space behind your heart so you're not sinking into your shoulders. Maintain this integration and draw your right knee towards your right bicep. Inhale, reach your right leg back to keep it lifted. And then exhale, take knee to nose without lifting your hips. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale back. Ground your right foot. Keep your shoulders over your wrist the whole time. Inhale, left leg up. Knee to left bicep. Inhale, leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Just keep your hips where they are. Lengthen out. Exhale, left knee to right bicep. Right elbow and back out. Left knee to the mat. Let's go again. Right foot. Exhale, right knee, right bicep. Inhale out. Or exhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, and back out. Ground your right foot. Left leg. Exhale, knee to bicep. Inhale out. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale out. Last time, we'll get a break. Knee to right elbow. Inhale, back out. Ground your left foot. Ground your knees. Come into child's pose. Take your arms behind you. And say, woo. We did it. It was hard, but that's okay. It was hard, but it wasn't terrible. And in fact, I bet we could do it again. Just 2 rounds on each side. And this time, I'd like for you to keep someone in mind who you know, it could be yourself, but keep someone in mind who you know that needs a little extra strength. And as you work through this, dedicate that strength to that person. Keep them in your mind's eye. All right, we're all so excited to do this again. So we're going to start in all fours just for a moment. Yes, we can do this, and yes, we will do this. Come into plank. Engage your core, navel to spine. Press the earth away. Lift your right foot up. Exhale, right knee, right bicep. Inhale, stretch your right leg out. Exhale, knee to center, knee to nose. Stretch out. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Lengthen. Right foot down. Left leg up. Left knee, left bicep. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to right elbow. And lengthen. We're halfway done. We can do this. Right foot up. Right knee to right elbow. Inhale out. Stay with the shakes. Knee to nose. Inhale out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale back out. Almost done. Left leg up. Knee to bicep. Inhale, lengthen. Knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Last one, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Left foot down. Knees down. Whew. And then again, once more in child's pose with the backs of your hands down. Good job, everybody. Ooh. That was a doozy, wasn't it? But so worth it. Just because something's hard doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it. All right. One more time? Just kidding. Okay, from downward or from all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Let's walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale up halfway, lengthen out from the crown of your head. Exhale, fold. Try to slow your breath down and get it regulated. Inhale, press palms into shins, shift the weight towards your toes, and exhale, fold. One more time, halfway. Strong back. Exhale, hinge forward, bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands down there. And then take your thumbs into the creases of your hips. Press your thumbs back so you can lengthen through your spine, reach your heart forward. With bent legs, come up to standing. Let's breathe our arms over our head just once here. Inhale out wide, broaden across your collarbones. And exhale slowly through center. Bring your hands to your hips, shift the weight into your left foot, and draw your right foot to your right glute. Grab a hold of the outside edge of your right foot. So here you may not feel a whole lot, but if you press your legs together and then find what the action of cat pose with your hips, that's the posterior tilt, as you pull your right foot towards your right glute, then you might feel something. You could even try both hands here if it helps. And draw your shoulder blades together. Keep pressing down through your left foot, up through the crown of your head, and keep your right knee drawn in. And release your right foot. We'll go ahead straight to the other side. Take left heel towards left glute. Grab a hold of the outside edge of your left foot. Right hand starts on your right hip. And then to make this more active, tuck under, so pubic bone to navel, and then bring your left knee in line with your right. Maybe both hands, in which case you would draw your shoulder blades together, open up across your collarbones, and keep your lower ribs knitted in. You'll find the action of knitting your lower ribs in and the posterior tilt of your pelvis, which is pubic bone to navel, are very much related. And then gently release. We'll take a couple stirring actions of our hips here just to loosen up. And then come to the top of your mat. Release your hands. Inhale, breathe your arms up above your head. Exhale, turn your palms out and dive forward. Hands to the mat. Step back into downward dog. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale with your tongue out. 2 more. Last one. And then bring your big toes together. Let the breath lead. Inhale, right leg moves back and up. Stretch from heel to the crown of your head. Exhale, draw your knee into your chest. Lift from center as you shift forward. And place your right foot next to your right thumb. Go ahead and ground your back knee. And then you could use a block here if you'd like, with your right hand underneath your shoulder, and lift your left hand up and over so you have a big side stretch here. Notice where your hips are. If your left knee is over your left, if your left hip is over your left knee, try to move forward just a little bit and come forward as much as you can, even if it's an inch. With the length that you have of your left side, keep going and take your left elbow on the outside of your right leg. Place your right hand, take a left fist with your left hand and clasp your right hand over the top of it. Then you're going to use the leverage of your left elbow and press your right hand into your left fist to draw left ribs closer to the inside of your right thigh. And then maybe you notice that you can move your hips down and forward a little more Just become aware of where you're holding on to that tension. Soften through the front of your left leg. Keep pressing left elbow into the outside of your right knee. One more breath here. And we'll take both hands down to the mat. Climb aboard your right thigh. So start with your right palm down, or you could interlace your fingers. Elbows will be pointed away from each other. As we inhale, tuck your chin, pull right foot and left knee towards one another. As you exhale, loop your shoulders like you do in Cobra. Move your hips down and forward and lift through your heart. Inhale, feet pull towards one another. Exhale, heart lifts, spine extends, slight back bend. 2 more. Last one. And then plant your hands on the mat. Move any props aside. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Step into plank. Elbows point back and lower all the way down. Tops of fingers press down. Tops of feet press down and back. Shoulders loop. Peel slowly away from the mat. Lengthen across the front of your body. And then release. Hands under shoulders, toes tuck, through plank to downward dog. Big toes together, left leg inhale, back and up. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest. Shift forward and place your left foot next to your left hand. Ground your back knee. So again, maybe it was nice for you to have that block underneath your left hand, if you liked that, just to kind of help you out. And you'll sweep your right arm out and up, and we'll take just a moment to really lengthen through your right side body. Check in with your hips, see if you can move forward with them any amount. And then keep the right side linked as you bring your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Fist with your right hand, open with your left, and then you'll clasp onto your right, into the right-handed fist. Press right elbow into left knee, roll your left ribs back, move hips down and forward. Good. Ooh. Feels nice to stretch those psoas muscles after our core work. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of work just to make the reward that sweet. Stay with the sensations. Try not to let your mind drift too far away. Keep that distance between mind and body closer and closer. One more breath here. And place your hands back on the mat to calibrate. And then you'll probably have to shift back just a little bit to come up. If you interlace your hands here, do so the strange way. So put the other finger in front, just to keep your mind alive, keep you out of autopilot. And you'll inhale, chin tucks, shoulders broaden. Think cat pose with your hips. Then as you inhale, shoulders loop. Think cow pose with your spine and your hips. Lift your heart. Inhale, draw everything to center. Exhale, hips move down and forward. 2 more. Last one. Place your hands on the mat. Tuck your back toes. Step back with control into plank. And then keep hips and shoulders aligned as you lower down. Whole body makes contact at the same time. Shoulders loop. Breath of fresh air in cobra. And release. You can actually stay on the mat, belly down, and we will head towards our peak pose. So I know we usually do a first krama, but we're going to do a longer completion portion than normal today. So go ahead and come up onto your elbows. We're going to take just a moment in Sphinx pose, which we do sometimes, but we kind of rush through it. So you might see it, we do it when we're changing from our connecting vinyasa from one side to the other. So what happens a lot of times in this pose where your elbows are underneath your shoulders and you're just kind of in this like hanging out, how are you? You're not supporting yourself much through your center. And you're kind of sinking into your shoulders. But we want to make this a little more active. So let's check first our arms. And when you want, I'm gonna spin around. So you want your arms to be square to your shoulders and your fingertips spread wide. And then you're gonna press into your forearms so you're lifting out of your shoulder joint and lengthening the front of your body. Now press down and back through your feet so the tops of your feet are pressed into the earth and your knees lift up. This helps keep your lower back safe. Now you're gonna draw your navel to your spine, so you're active through your center as well. So this is actually what Sphinx pose is. It's not just having a good time. So your back of your neck is long. I think you're gazing probably towards the front of your hands. Then let's try this one more step. If you were to keep this engagement and take your hands out, so your hands are pressed away from you, and you might be able to lift up a little bit higher through your heart, but everything's still engaged. Tops of feet are still pressing down and back. This is seal pose, so it's just a little bit different. And if you press your hands down and forward, you can lift your heart up just a little more. Get a little bit higher of a back bend. Okay, now let's release. Take a moment with the tops, with your forehead on the tops of your hands or the backs of your hands, and wave your ankles from side to side. Then we'll head into our peak pose. Okay, into the peak. Let's start with our left forearm. Let's do left forearm. Left elbow underneath your shoulder. And then your forearm runs parallel to the top of your mat. And your hand is flat. Draw your right foot toward your right glute and grab a hold of your right foot from the inside. You'll press foot into hand into foot, and then press your left elbow down and forward so you can keep your heart lifting up. From here, start to draw your right foot towards your glute. A little closer, so you're starting to feel a stretch across your right quad. If you want to go further and this is called Ardha, half frog pose, your fingers would wrap around the outside edge of your right foot and then start to move your right elbow up and your fingers will come over your toes. You want to keep pressing your left elbow down and forward. Keep pressing your right knee down and back for that additional stretch. We'll stay here for just another moment. And then very gently release your foot back to the mat without snapping. Forehead to the backs of your hands. Let your heels go from side to side. And then we'll head into the other side. Right forearm parallel to the front of your mat. Right elbow under right shoulder. Bend at your left foot. Reach back, grab the inside just for starters. We'll square shoulders up, press foot into hand, hand into foot, so you can feel some of that tension, some of the stretch across your left, like the front of your left shoulder. And then stay here, or draw left foot in closer without letting it splay too much out to the side, and then hands wrap around the outside of your left foot, and your elbow comes up. Hands clasp over the top of your foot, of your toes. Re-square your shoulders. Press your right elbow down and forward, left knee down and back. Keep your abdomen engaged so you're not just sinking into your hips or into your lower back. Then gently release your left foot back down. Forehead to the backs of your hands. Again, with ankles from side to side, or even bending at your knees and taking your feet from side to side. We'll gently come back, place your feet on the mat, and we'll head through all fours to our backs. So I won't do the chair restorative today, but if you liked that, then that's always available to you for Shavasana, to put your legs up. Okay, from here, reach your arms forward and then gently roll to your back. Take your arms over your head so that they're in soft parentheses. Walk your feet to the outside edges of your mat. From here, we'll gently windshield wiper our knees from side to side. And really do go slow. Notice your tendency. What speed seemed most natural to you? And then intentionally slow that down. Notice what your tendencies are. See if you can notice them without judgment. And when your knees come back to center, walk your feet back in line with your hips. Bring your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your sternum. Bring your feet all the way together so your soles touch and your knees go out wide. It's another great way to stretch the insides of our legs and your psoas muscles. Get a little bit of external hip rotation, which we started off with in class, but we did mostly neutral today. So when you're here in the Supta Baddha Konasana pose, reclined, bound angle pose, ankle. Just take a scan. You feeling tension in your ankles or your knees? If this does feel hard on your knees, I'd recommend blocks to help support. If you're feeling uncomfortable tension in your hips, it would be the same thing. Find something to make this more releasing, where you're doing less. Soften through your hips and your abdomen. Intentionally let your navel just soften to your spine rather than drawing it anywhere. Release tension in your shoulders. Let your jaw relax and clench your teeth. Soften through your cheekbones. Unfurrow your brow and smooth your forehead. Notice your body breathing. Attune your awareness to your inhale and exhale. As if it's the only thing that matters right now. Become aware of the soft fluctuations, the ebb and flow of your breath. And rest in the space between your thoughts. As you settle into your Shavasana, where you can really just let go and be held and supported by the assured earth below you. You can stay here in bound ankle pose or stretch your legs out long. without moving or opening your eyes. Bring your awareness back to the space around you. Move your awareness into your body by deepening your breath. Taking small movements with fingers and toes. Inhale your arms above your head, stretch from fingertips to toe tips. Draw your knees in and then roll to one side where you'll pause for a moment, long enough to check in with yourself and observe your mind and the conditions within it. And then use your strong arm to press yourself up into a seated position at the front of your mat. Bring your palms together at your heart in Anjali Mudra, a gesture of gratitude. Sit tall, lifting through the crown of your head. Thank you to all of you for showing up for yourselves, for each other. Thank you to all the yogis who came before us, paved the way for us to have this practice. And may each and all living things be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with strength and ease. Namaste.